Well, ladies and gentlemen, Wrestlemania just ended, and I have to say it was a pretty damn good Wrestlemania. Definitely, I don't know if anybody will complain about it, but I thought it was pretty good. It was, I thought it was pretty balanced. I think the only complaint people will have is the world title match starting and ending starting Mania off officially and ending as fast as it did. I know people like it off the ropes show like Schleg Daddy and Mr. Rowd and a few others may think that it's WWE's way of devaluing the title, and maybe that's just a way of how much they really think about WCW's the formerly known WCW World Championship. What was funny about this is that during the next match, which was Orton and Kane, you had fans still chanting Daniel Bryan, and you had some fans chanting Vince screwed Bryan, Vince screwed Bryan. And it's like, whoa, apparently they weren't too happy about it. But yeah, we started out the night with Sheamus winning in 18 seconds the world title. As soon as Daniel Bryan got a kiss from AJ, he turned around, got a brogue kick, and that was it. What a way to make up for the championship match last year, huh? And then we had Kane and Orton, which was a decent match, back and forth, decent match. It wasn't the prettiest, but it was decent, and surprisingly, Kane was put over in this one, so it looks like Kane's going to be put in the main event spotlight now for a while. If he's been put over, if Randy put him over, that's pretty good. Randy got chokeslammed from the top rope because I think he was going to try for an RKO, and he pulls it out and wins. Kane, that is, pulls it out and wins. The next match of the night was for the Intercontinental Championship. Cody, Rhodes, and Big Show. Wasn't the prettiest match. Cody tried to get some offense in, and he did. But in the end, Big Show ended up winning by spearing Rhodes. Rhodes tried to, I guess, come off the top rope or something. He got speared, and then he got knocked out by the WMD, and Big Show is the new Intercontinental Champion. And I know a lot of people feel that's kind of like, why, like Mr. Rowd, he probably feels that Big Show doesn't need the title. But hey, you got to do something to give Cody a taste of his own medicine. The next match was the Divas match. Yes, surprisingly, the Diva-related match was not the second or third or second to last match. It was the fourth match this year. I think it was a good balance for it. Kelly and Maria ended up winning the match. Maria ended up getting hurt a little bit because of the ribs and everything, her injuries that she had, but she ends up pinning Beth Phoenix again I think the third time, to get the win. And then we get the Hell in a Cell match. The Hell in a Cell match, which, oh man, when you see the live reactions, you'll pretty much know what I mean, but well, if you have seen the live reactions before this, you'll see what I mean. But oh man, it was just back and forth. It's like, it was almost like a repeat of last year, except the roles were being reversed. Everybody wanted to know what Undertaker's hairstyle looked like, and apparently it was kind of like a mohawk a little bit. Kind of like, he had it shaved like a little shaved like right about here, like what I have basically, but this is what he had in the middle. Like this right here is what he had in the middle. Everything else like shaved up. And I like how JR, who was there for this match, was asking what happened to the Undertaker, and it was a brutal match. It was a physical, very brutal match, brutal cell match. Shawn did get involved. He tried to. The story was just told so great in this match. I mean, you had Shawn trying to get Taker to stop, and Triple H telling him to end this match, and it was just back and forth, and they used the steel, they used the steps, they used sledgehammers, they used the chair, and like I said, the roles were reversed basically, and in the end, Undertaker ended up going 20-0 by hitting the tombstone on Triple H. Shawn Michaels actually did get involved a little bit. he got locked into Hell's Gate during the match, and that caused him to super kick Taker, and Taker almost got cost the match, but that didn't happen. And again, it was back and forth. So it was back and forth, and but in the end, just a very physical, very brutal match, and a very good match. And they did have blood, not as much as some people would hope, but they did have some blood showing on Hunter and Taker. Very physical match, very brutal match, and I said it in my live reactions, if you're going to end an era, what a way to do it. And they said the same thing on the pay-per-view. And Taker is now 20-0. So Schlig Daddy, I don't think you have nothing to worry about. The match that followed after that was, well, actually after that they had the Hall of Fame inductions, the Hall of Fame inductees coming out and having their time, and it was surprising to see Ric Flair up there. I thought maybe Rick would do the Hall of Fame thing and then probably leave. That was pretty cool. Apparently he does want to come back to WWE, we just don't know when. And then we had the Team Teddy versus Team Johnny match. It was an entertaining match, and just like a lot of people were predicting, Laurinaitis ended up winning. He now runs both shows as far as we know, and basically what happened is that it looked like Team Teddy was going to win thanks to Zack Ryder, but in the end Eve came in, kind of, I guess, made it look like at first she was going to low blow Zack, but that didn't happen. Instead, she distracted Zack enough for Miz to hit the skull-crushing finale and get the win. And then she ends up low blowing, kicking Zack in the nuts, because everybody's wondering what happened here. What did you do this? Why did you do this, Eve? And next thing you know, she kicks Zack right in the nuts. So we'll see what happens from there. I'm guaranteeing they're going to probably do something. I don't know what they're going to do, but they'll probably have a rematch of some sort down the line. Then we had Jericho and Punk, and what was funny about this is you can tell CM Punk is going to probably be one of the main targets of Laurinaitis' run, because Laurinaitis added the stipulation that if Punk gets disqualified, he loses the title, which at WrestleMania is never going to happen. Maybe at something like Extreme Rules or something, really. But anyway, CM Punk and Jericho faced each other in what was a great wrestling match, no doubt about that. Jericho tried his best to get Punk disqualified, did not happen. So, but just a tremendous match back and forth. I mean, if you're a wrestling purist, this was what you wanted. This, you got it, and Punk ends up winning by locking in, I think for the third or second time of the night, the Anaconda Vice right in the middle of the ring, and Jericho ends up tapping. So Punk basically solidifies himself as the best in the world, which is pretty cool. And then after that, we had the Funkasaurus come out. It was surprising. He had Naomi and Cameron with him, and then he had his mama come out, along with the Bridge Club, which was kind of fun. It was kind of fun seeing that. I mean, I think we all knew Funkasaurus was going to be there. We just didn't know how. And then after that, we had the concert introductions of Rock and Cena. We had MKG, singing their song. We had Flo Rida and Estadine doing their deal, and Cena and Rock, after both performances came out, and they were introduced like they were, and the way the introductions were done was just like if it was a championship match. And that match was just a tremendous, it definitely lived up to the hype. I mean, even level playing field. I don't care what people say, it was even leveled. Back and forth action, attitude adjustments, rock bottoms, people's elbows, knuckle shuffles, I mean, you name it. They pulled out all the stops. But in the end, Rock ends up winning. Hits the rock bottom out of nowhere after Cena tries to go for the people's elbow, give Rock a taste of his own medicine. Rock ends up winning with the people's elbow. I mean, not people's elbow, but the rock bottom. So Rock ends up winning what many are probably assuming is going to be the first of many matches between the two. And I guess it makes sense to have Rock go over. It's his hometown, So Rock does end up going over, and Cena did look a little dejected, but I think kind of realized he made a mistake. So I don't think Cena's going to go anywhere. for a while. I think he'll stay, and there might be an interaction, maybe a setup for next year, who knows. But overall, I thought it was a great WrestleMania. I recorded it. As you can see, I have the DVD here. I recorded it tonight, just like I do every year. It says WrestleMania 28, 4/1/12, live in Rock vs. Cena. My nephew and his family did not come over because he ended up watching it, I guess, online by streaming it or something. So, but overall, just a great WrestleMania, probably one of the best ever. You know, I know there will be people that are going to judge it and say it wasn't. And to me, I have to say it lived up to its hype. 10 out of 10, definitely 100 stars, if you will. Thumbs up, no doubt about it. And that's all I'm going to say for my WrestleMania 28 review. Comment down below, tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Do a video response if you like.